In today's video, I'm going to show you the 4 different variations of Bruce Lee's straight lead punch. Now let's begin. So give you a brief description of what the Bruce Lee straight lead punch is. In essence, it's going to be a vertical jab to the head or body. Okay, from your on guard position, if you watch my other Bruce Lee fighting methods video, I show the stance and the basic footwork of Jeet Kune. Okay, so in this video, I'm going to assume you already know how to move and stand properly for Jeet Kune. Okay, and remember, Jeet Kune, Bruce Lee stressed that you're going to have your strong side forward. He said he written it down twice in his books, in the Tao Jeet Kune, okay, and all the other Bruce Lee fighting methods. He talked about either you're going to be doing 80% of your striking with your lead arm and foot. And then another time he wrote that you're going to do 90% of the time striking with your lead arm or foot. Okay, so I'm just going to assume that you're right-handed, but if you're left-handed, you're going to have more of an orthodox stance, but you're going to have your strong side forward. Okay, so just clear the air with that one. So the first variation of the straight lead, I'm going to start from this gun sight position. This hand is going to be here. My guarding hand is right here. Okay, I got my rear heel cocked up. Remember, that is the piston of the fighting machine. That's how I'm going to drive with my punches, is having that rear foot cocked up. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is from this on guard position, I'm just going to throw it out. Okay, you see how I rotate. What makes the straight lead different than a normal boxing jab is a boxing jab, a lot of times the momentum is from that forward. The power comes from the forward momentum. Like I'm coming in with my body weight. But with the straight lead, you're going to actually rotate the whole hip, starting from the foot, hip, and upper body into that punch, maintaining the center line. Okay, and then the fist position is real simple. I'm just going to turn those 3, hit with the bottom 3 knuckles and just turn my wrist up. Okay, so fighting from the on guard position, I'm going to do it stationary without moving my feet. I'm going to be here. The hand is not going to telegraph. Wherever my hand is, it fires straight from there. Remember, the straight lead is not meant to be a power punch. It's meant to be a speed punch. Okay, so I'm in this position. I got my guarding hand ready, and I'm just going to, the hand leads first, and then the body follows. As you can see that. So I have the body movement of a cross in boxing, but as a jab. So there's a lot of power in it, but it's mainly used as a speed punch. Okay, so again, from the on guard position or the gun sight stance, I'm just going to turn into it and bring it right back to in the original position. Got my guarding hand ready, breathing out as I punch. You can see I want to keep the shoulder up. I want to keep that shoulder here because if I step in and do a straight lead and they hook over the top, I can have that guarding hand here or I could roll with it. Okay, so I'm going to be here, wherever the hand is at. Now let's say I use more of an outside stance where I call it the dragon's tail. With this, I have my guarding hand up, but my lead arm is nice and relaxed down on my thigh. Okay, let's say I'm here. My hands here is just going to go straight up, hit with the 3 knuckles, and back down. Okay, I'm here, pop the hip. I got to put the hip into it, okay? I'm moving my whole body into the punch. And when the punch lands, I'm keeping my hand nice and relaxed until the last second before impact. Then I'm going through 2 to 3 inches through the punch or the target and bringing it back. Okay, so from the dragon's tail, right there. You know, I'm moving my head, I have my hands ready, right there, stationary, boom. Attack with the straight lead. Okay, let's say I have my hands more here. Having more of this out position. Okay, same thing. If my hand ends up here, hit. If my hand is here, hit. If my hand is here, hit. The punch starts from wherever the hand is. What you don't want to do is, if your hand's here, bring it up and then throw it and then bring it down like a robot. Okay, so the first variation is just straight in, straight back. Okay, now I can add that forward momentum. Okay, the burst. I'm going to burst into, I'm going to drive off the rear foot. Okay, and I'm going to get some body weight behind that straight lead, or I'm going to cover some distance. Okay, maybe remember, if I'm on the outside, I want to be able to get in with the straight lead, okay, and usually get back out, okay? So when I'm in front of my opponent, I'll start from that on guard position, like the gun sight. I'm gonna remember that rear heel is cocked. I'm gonna drive off that rear heel, step, launch forward. I'm gonna lunge forward. It's almost like a fencer's lunge with a foil, okay? But not that dramatic, okay? I'm just gonna be here, and I'm gonna, okay? The secret is the hand leads before the foot. Okay, it's very hard to understand and to do it. I have a hard time getting people to understand that the hand leads before the foot, okay? But at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter because you're gonna use your feints and your speed and your timing to just go. Just go with it. Don't make the straight lead overcomplicated. At the end of the day, it is just a jab, a vertical fisted jab, okay? With your whole body into it, okay? So, to use that burst, I'm gonna drive off the rear foot, bring it right back, okay? I might have to bring it out and bring it back and parry a punch, okay? But I'm always keeping that left hand up. This is the guarding hand. I might parry jab, parry jab, parry jab, okay? I might have to jab and move my head, okay? So I'm here, I'll do it stationary, poof, see how the hand just goes, poof, my hip pops into it. Okay, so I'm here, poof. A lot of times what I like to do in my stance is I'll be more, bring the shoulder forward a little bit, maybe down, and then fire it up. Or I'll bring it over, I'll square up a little bit, which gives me a lot more power. Okay, so that's the first variation, is just straight in, with the step or stationary. Usually I always step. You'll never see me just that. I always put, even if it's a little micro step, I always put that snap and that step and the hip into it. Okay, the second variation, okay, is gonna go straight in, or you're gonna slip, move your head to the left-hand side, get that guarding hand up, like you're gonna parry a punch. So I'm gonna move my head to the side as I do the straight lead. Okay, this variation, it kind of goes at an angle. You see where my fist is at an angle, I'm gonna hit with the bottom 3 knuckles. Have the guarding hand up, like I'm parrying a punch and hitting at the same time. But if I stand up, it's vertical. It's here, okay? You can keep it up vertical still. I like to rotate it and get the whole shoulder and the hip into it. So the first variation, straight in, straight back. The second variation, I'm gonna move my head off to the side, bring the guarding hand up, and straight lead. Okay, you can see where I can thread the needle. Like he throws a right cross at me, I can parry and hit at the same time, hence intercepting fist, okay? So that's the second variation. The third variation is one of my favorites. You're gonna take a little step out. You're gonna take your step out, and then I'm gonna rotate and turn my whole body and angle off to the side like I'm getting inside a punch, okay? I'm gonna keep the hand up, the guarding hand up. Again, take that little step, poof, fire the straight lead. All right, got that rear heel cocked up, poof, fire. So I pop the hip, okay? What I can do on this one is I can parry. Let's see, he throws that cross again or a hook, I can parry and hit, okay? Poof, throw that parry and hit, okay? Remember, the parry could be here or here. This is a little bit stronger, okay, this outside parry. All right, so I'm here, poof, just a little step out, and I'm gonna rotate, pivot on that back heel, and rotate and hit with the bottom 3 knuckles. Remember, I'm gonna punch through the target and bring it back. So review the first 3. You got the forward. You gotta move your head to the side. Poof, step in. Then you got that outside. Poof. Then the last one, obviously, is just gonna go to the body. All right? Bruce Lee really believed that when you throw a straight punch to the body, that you should go down to the level of the target. So the fourth variation, I'm gonna use that guarding hand as a parry, as a protector, okay? Poof! You can see that straight lead is almost horizontal. It's at a 45 because if I stand up, it's vertical. I'm still keeping that power line. Okay, I'm here getting my head off line, throwing that straight lead to the body. So again, I'm gonna take that step in. I always step because I want my body weight, my forward momentum into my punch. Okay, so I step in, poof, throw that straight lead to the body, and I'm back to the on guard position. Okay, so let's run through all 4 variations. You got the normal, just straight in, poof, okay? You got the outside, poof. Then you got the well, like you say, this is the inside, poof, there, and then you got the straight lead to the body, poof. Okay, so those are the 4 variations of the straight lead. Remember, you have your strong arm for it, right? I'm not saying you can't do the straight lead and have your power hand like in a traditional boxing stance. You can throw normal jabs and add that straight lead in there. I call it the needle threader because it likes to thread the defense. So when your opponent has his hands up, there's a little gap here where a normal horizontal fist with a boxing glove on can't get in. You make it a vertical and it'll slip through the crack. Thread the needle. Okay, so thanks for watching. That is my 4 variations of Bruce Lee's straight lead punch. Have a good day.